Hey, crypto heads, it's the Goose. Denise looked really excited there for a second. She's
Yay!
like, "Oh, we're
Woohoo!
on! Yay!" Welcome back to another episode of the Cryptic Paranormal Show. Glad to see you. We got our old friends from ACG Paranormal back on, plus a newbie. We got Kat ACG down there. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Good. Yep, you bet. We're excited to have you on. Denise, how's it going? How's everything been? I saw you just a couple days ago.
Yeah, fantastic. That was exciting. It's a good time.
That was an interesting walkthrough with our team psychic Tina. It's the first time she had been there.
Why was I invited?
You had
during the week.
Job?
I didn't think you could go.
Right.
I'm on medical leave still, so I still got some time to have some fun. Don't tell my boss that though. He actually signed off. All right.
Come back.
Well, hopefully he's not really that pissed. But anyways, everything's good, Denise?
Yeah,
okay.
It's good.
Okay.
No complaints.
Do you think Heisenberg's really pissed?
I don't know. Guess we'll see if he leaves the group chat.
I guess. But anyways, we got ACG Paranormal back. Elliott, Kat, and Nat. Oh, there he is.
Okay, good.
There
You didn't quit?
Welcome back.
I got sad for a second there.
Welcome back, man. How you been?
Just go on.
Just a walkthrough.
Move along.
All right, fine. We got ACG Paranormal on, and in case you guys don't know who they are, we'll kind of get their origin story like we did last time. But we have a lot of new viewers and a lot of new people in the chat room, so I guess we'll start from Elliott. Kind of give us your background and how you got into it, and then we'll just move up to Kat.
Wait, he's got a question.
Hang on.
Oh, what's up?
Speaking of the chat, I'm on my phone and I can't do that. So
okay, I'll work on that too.
Okay.
Oh, look at all these happy people. I love all of you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Hey, Patience. Hey, Gina. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, I see a Tony and a Peggy.
There's Peggy.
Peggy. Penny.
Hello.
So you want my origin story?
Sorry, I got
Yeah. No, you're fine.
So I started doing this to prove my wife wrong, which is a good way to start getting into the paranormal.
Yeah.
And I took apart her equipment that she would be using because I thought it was fake. And as I repaired it, it started working better and better. And I proved myself wrong. And now I make equipment for paranormal for her. So
Nice.
And I've been doing this for about 8 years now. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, when I first met Elliott, he was a skeptic.
Even though I had experiences as a kid, a lot of them that I kind of just buried because
he's not only a skeptic, he was an angry skeptic.
Yeah,
like,
it would aggravate.
Oh, really?
Well, I don't like when I feel like people are trying to trick me. I don't like that. And like I would get upset about it and I'm like, no, that thing has like some sort of sensor and it knows that you're like talking to it. The Bell REM pod, I'm so happy you like it. I love those so much. I make REM pods for the Bell Mansion. They sell them there and
that is awesome.
they're shaped like bells.
I saw she showed a picture of one.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I don't know how. Where's your background? Like, how do you know how to do all this stuff? To me, I mean, it feels like you would have to have like an engineering degree to understand like the workings.
I don't have an engineering degree. I have experience in breaking things.
Nice.
So as a kid, I used it. My neighbor would throw out computers all the time. He'd steal them from work and then strip the parts that were worth money and throw them away. And then I'd go take them out of his garbage and just take them apart and figure out how they work. So like cool. I really like breaking things. So
Elliott was kind of like the kid from Toy Story.
Yeah.
Sid.
Yeah.
A lot of like putting dolls together and making creations and like, but like computer parts and like, oh, this thing. You would get shocked a few times too, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Because capacitors.
Oh, no.
Capacitors are dangerous, very dangerous.
Thank God for YouTube. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I don't still get burned by soldering iron and zapped by stuff.
Yeah.
There's some expletives that come out when I'm working on stuff in our house.
Yeah, honestly though, like with Elle, he's crazy. He can like rip apart a computer and put it all back together, and I'm just like, how do you do
Right.
that? Like,
Right.
Right.
wow. So yeah, he's magical. That's his magic, is tech. Oh, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
Hey, Mama Bear.
Hello, Mama Bear. We love you.
That's always
I
been
do.
interesting to me that people could just do that, like, and figure it out. Just
See, I think it's
break
weird
shit
that
and then
people. It's hard. What in my brain that people have problem with electronics because to me they just make sense. So like
Yeah.
computer stuff, I understand. Like I can learn programming in like a week, like a new language.
But he can't remember a
Oh, no.
schedule for one weekend. So.
That's why she's
Right.
the leader. I don't remember what's going on in 5 minutes from now. Just put it in the GPS and I'll go wherever it tells me to go.
Right.
Yeah, he's not the best with organization, but that's okay. You know, it
Right.
goes hand in hand.
You got to know our strengths and stick to your
Yeah.
strengths.
Yes.
yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
You want your origin story?
I suppose so. Mine's long. Like, I don't know if y'all.
We
We
got
got
2
2
hours.
I gave the cliff notes of mine.
I see Kat sitting back, just like, okay, here we
Yeah,
go.
Cat's like, oh, here she goes again. Like,
Wake
Hear
me
this
up when
again.
it's over.
3 hours later. And
yeah,
that's how I got into ghosts.
I'll try to like shorten it a little bit. All right, so when I was a little kid, I would see ghosts by my house. Like I'd actually just visit the one that I used to see in the alleyway growing up. I would see a dark shadow figure, and I would compare it to Darth Sidious or Palpatine. You know,
Palpatine.
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 I'm Lord of the Rings fan.
If you
Sorry,
could see
Star
all
Wars
the Star
people.
Wars stuff.
Yeah, that's Cat. I'm more about my elves and fantasy. Anyway, that guy, he reminded me of him as a kid. So I'd tell like my parents, like, oh yeah, they're
Baby Yoda.
I'd tell my parents, oh yeah, I'm talking to the Star Wars guy again, and it was crazy because I actually forgot about that guy until I saw a VHS tape of this, like, and it's me talking about this Star Wars guy, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, I used to see the guy in the alleyway. He would just stand there, wouldn't say anything, and here's me like 3 years old, hey guy in alley, you know, like so that's kind of when I started seeing ghosts. The one that I remember like full on apparition, like you're not supposed to be here, was when I was about 7 or 8. I remember telling this story last time, but I'll tell it again because it's my favorite. I was getting ready to use the restroom. It was about 10 o'clock at night, and I all of a sudden saw this tall, sickly, transparent, but she was there, woman in my hallway. And she looked at me, looked back, and then just went. And I'm like, my foot was like on the ground because I had to use the restroom, and I literally froze for about 30 minutes. Wound up running down to the restroom, running back, and just putting my head under the covers. The next day, I told everybody at school, and I became known as the Ghost Girl.
Nice.
So a lot of my friendships growing up are based around people that came to me and were like, hey, don't tell anyone, but I think my house is haunted, but I don't want people to think I'm crazy. And I'm
Right.
like, okay. I'm like, I believe you. Your secret is safe with me. And I'm actually friends with some people still from grade school because of our bond with ghost stories. So a
Right.
lot of connections that I had. Kat I've known
I
since
was one of
high
those
school. She's one of my ghost people.
Oh wow.
I've known her for 15 years, and we bonded over creepy stuff. So ever since I was young, I just wanted to be by ghosts. And when I moved out of that house, I got like I really want to see another ghost. So I started when I was 12 years old, going to old abandoned. Don't trespass, kids. But I would trespass.
Don't trespass. There are crazy people in
There
some
are
of these
Yeah.
crazy
buildings. They will growl at you and fight you. Do not go in abandoned buildings.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do not support that. I mean, I was a kid. I didn't know what I was doing, but I really wanted that experience again. And the first place I wound up going to was the Manteno State Hospital. And when I was there, I did have an experience. I went back with a group of friends, had another experience. And then it was kind of then where I'm like, I gotta start finding more haunted places. So I would try to find any place that I could go to at the time, being like 13 years old. I would go to the cemetery, I would hop on trains, whatever was closest, and I would try to find ghosts. And then from there, I started traveling the States. And then we just got back from Ireland about 2 months ago. Like, I'll try to go
That's
anywhere,
awesome.
like, and
Right.
Yeah.
like I love these big locations, but I really like little local museums. Those are like my favorite places to investigate because the stories and the owners and just all these artifacts that they have in those places, it's like they're irreplaceable and they're just cool. Like one we went to, there was an actual 1800s horse carriage.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Or they
That's
had
cool.
Untouched mint condition.
they had an old bank that
Wow.
they had gutted the bank and they put
Yeah.
it in the museum.
Oh, it was
Like the
walking
safe,
Wow.
like all the
past.
walls. They put
Wow.
it was really cool.
Yes, so that's how I got into it. And then with ACG, after the pandemic, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start just turning this up a notch. I want to kind of meet other people in the community. So like I was in it for years, but I didn't really know many people in the community.
Yeah.
And I started getting out. And then Elliott's like, well, if you're going out to the community, I guess I will too, because we're like. And then I was like, you know what? I should just form a team. So I did. And now I picked up Cat along the way. And then we have Kid, but he's kind of a mystery. He comes and goes.
He's off in an alley somewhere.
And we have another couple of members, but they kind of help me out with like projects versus like just investigating. And so, this is kind of the main deal though, is us three, and we're not
Right. The core group.
Core.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll let Cat talk now though.
Yeah. So yeah, mine is more short and sweet, but I have always had a morbid curiosity. I grew up in an old house that was built in the 1920s, so there were a lot of things that, like Elliott was saying, I just kind of dismissed. I'm like, that didn't actually happen. I didn't just see that or feel that. I'm just not going to tell anybody that happened. And now that I'm like more into it, some of those like memories are coming back to me too, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe I didn't imagine that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm also a history nerd, so naturally makes sense to
Nice.
me, the researcher. So
Yeah.
always love to hear stories behind places and kind of match
Yeah.
the experiences that we get.
That's kind of like your true crime. She loves the true crime.
I'm really into true crime. Yeah. So it
Me
kind
too.
of
It's Heisenberg down there.
Oh, there
Nice.
you go. Yeah.
Nice.
You guys can talk about that later.
True crime school.
So what's your favorite episode?
Right.
So
I mean,
many.
it does go hand in hand. I love that's when I go to a new place. Honestly, that's my favorite part is the tour. I love learning the history of these buildings and then, like you said, matching it up with the experiences you have.
Yeah.
Tony saying
You can't hear us very well. Should
Tony,
we talk her?
should I yell?
Talk louder?
I'm a
Speak
quiet
talker.
talker.
Get
I'm
closer,
sorry.
Cat.
Yeah.
Yell at the laptop.
I think Tony's going deaf or something. I could hear you completely.
You said you like.
I got to
true
pick on
crime.
Tony.
Tony, put the lucids on.
Put the lucids.
Put the lucids on.
There you go.
You'll
Yeah.
hear us nice and clear.
Yeah, actually, a couple comments back, he said, "Thank you for turning him on to those."
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
I love that those are blowing up now because I've been
Yeah,
trying to tell people about them for like a year, and it's hard because like without using them, you can't really understand how they work.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like your
I mean,
ears will be like a cat or something.
Cat
Yeah.
ears.
Cat ears.
I am seriously obsessed with them. Like I'll just walk around with them on all the time. I love them. And I was like,
Yeah.
whatever. Fuck it. It's $17 on Menards. Like if I don't like them, I'll use them for something else, But then I put them on and I was like, oh my God, I love these. And I'm a chicken shit, but there were so many times where I was like, I want to go sit in the hallway by myself while you guys are in here so I can listen with these. Like I love them.
We've heard some crazy things with those, and I actually work with the insides of them, and I build like different things with them. And I had it hooked up to the computer in our house recording, and there was a little kid talking into the microphone.
Oh my gosh.
There's a little kid
wow.
spirit in our house who was my invisible friend when I was younger.
Nice.
And the first night Nat slept over, she actually
Jeez,
had
Tony.
a dream about him, and he told her about the toys that were in the attic.
I didn't know where his attic was, by
All
the way.
sorts of
I
crazy
didn't
stuff.
see his attic. I like went straight up to his room, and this little boy's like, "Follow me," and I'm like, "Where are we going?" And then he's like, he pointed to the attic door, which was actually his dad's room at the time, and was just like, and it was weird. I could see like his dad sleeping, and I was like, "What's going on here?" And this little boy's just like, "I like to play in there," and that was like the whole dream. And I woke up and I told Elliot about it, and he's just like, "Yeah, that's weird." But he continued to date me, so I don't, must have not have been weird enough for you.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patience
You're
Patience
you're
said she's heard.
living with someone that like that has the abilities you have is like really weird, because she's learned to like not be as weird with it, but like you used to just like we'd walk down a street and you'd freeze and be like, a guy got riddled with bullets here, and I'm like, no, I don't need to know that. Don't need to know that.
Yeah.
We're on a nice walk. Don't need to know
The
that.
family's like having a barbecue in the front yard.
I'm just so happy that I don't have that ability.
Same.
Honestly,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I keep
I
it
don't.
really like very like just tell him, like make notes of it, because I don't want to just assume, and I don't want to put like ideas in people's heads.
You always have to
So-
research whatever you're feeling.
I like to take notes, and then what I like to do is use the wonderful thing called Google and put all my little pieces together. And then when I'm
Right.
like, oh, look, someone actually got shot.
So see, that was the hard part. When I was a hardcore skeptic and I used to hate all this stuff, she would say things and I'm like, no, that's not true. We're not doing that. It's nonsense. That didn't happen here. And then she would Google it and find some article that matches exactly what she says, like buried.
1984.
Yeah, like, or like 3 years ago on that same day in the same location. And it's just like, what is going on? After a while
Right.
of living with that, you can't be a skeptic anymore.
Right. I'm with you though.
Just, well, that's where like the devices come in. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to prove
Yeah.
that this is right. You know, I want, my biggest thing when investigating is let the spirits speak for themselves.
Mhm.
You know, like, so give them a voice, which, like, whether it be spirit box, whether it be digital recorder, I don't want to just be like walk in like, oh, this is what they're telling me, and then walk out. You know, like, kind of like mixing it a little bit, you know, like just so they actually have a voice themselves. I mean, it's awesome that they're like, hey, yo, can you tell this person this? Okay, yeah, but can you leave just a little bit of something so I can also show them that as well, you know?
Right.
Just to make sure, like, because
Yeah.
I still like kind of self-doubt myself, even though like there's been so many times where it's been like, whoa, you know, like it sometimes like still shocks me that it's a thing, you know, like,
Yeah.
and Kat over here, she's got a little sensitive abilities herself, so
Yeah, I was kind of ignoring.
Oh, yeah?
I can't just accept it, honestly.
Yeah.
Sadly, my only sensitive ability is grumpy men. And like, I think it's because I'm a grumpy man. I attract grumpy men energy. But like, I can walk in.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Yeah, we just walk in and we're like, oh, there's a grumpy guy over. He's gonna be here. We're gonna get a grumpy man to the spirit box tonight.
And I feel like what I do pick up on is not, it's not on demand. It's not like show yourselves. No, I feel like it's like they have to come to me
Yeah.
type thing. You
Yeah,
know, like more
right.
of a personal like, hey lady.
hey, weird lady.
So yeah, I don't know. But once you kind of like accept it and just go with the flow, weird things start happening, you know, like
Yeah.
Is it like Is it like when you're at the grocery store and there's like somebody behind you and then their dad's coming like, hey, tell my daughter. Is it like all the time like that?
That would be horrible.
Not
I like bought daughter to buy the
necessarily.
generic brand. I never said to buy
Yeah.
that much.
Oh my God.
Told you, quit snacking on that. You're
Right.
at the age of 15.
Please don't give the ghost suggestions. We don't need that. Like every single time we started having, oh God, that guy's grandpa told me to say something to him. I'm gonna have to stop that.
It's
That is not
more,
happening.
it's more like it's random. Like just like okay, here's an example. I was at my friend's wedding and
Yeah.
it was just at like this cute little estate place and I'm sitting there on the second floor. All of a sudden this lady is like in horrible despair. She's sad. And I'm just like who are you? Like, and she like I described her, but she was sad. And I went downstairs and my friends are all like now like, oh yeah, you're the ghost girl. And I told her, I was like, so I just had an experience upstairs. And everybody was like, whoa, what'd you feel? What'd you hear? And like I wound up going to the caretaker and I was like, this is gonna sound really weird. I'm like, is your place haunted? Has anybody told you that it's haunted? She was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, before you go any further, there was a lady on the second floor. She's got brown hair in her 60s. She seemed a little upset. This is kind of what I'm picking up on. And she's like, well, she's like, you're right. She's like, that was the last caretaker. She had depression. Her son passed away and
Wow.
she died on the second floor. So
Oh.
from depression, I mean, I could go more into
Yeah.
detail, but to be respectful. So yeah, after I told her that, the caretaker, she was like kind of this cranky old lady, but she loved me. like she was telling me about how she feeds the squirrels and everything, but she was telling everybody else, she's like, keep down. Like
Nice.
but there's artifacts in here and antiques and like but
Wow.
she's like, you like squirrels? And I'm like, I mean, it comes and goes
That's
like
funny.
that. Like normally, yeah, I'm alone, or like
Oh.
it's when like there's not as much energy going on, you know, like 'cause when you're like in a place with a bunch of people, you don't know what you're feeling, you know, like because even
Right.
like just going up to people, I kind of can tell like how their energy is within like 5 seconds, you know, like
Yeah.
it's like, ooh, you're not having a good day, are you? Like,
Yeah.
so, yeah, that's kind of more so how it is, but no, nobody's grandpa's coming up to me at the grocery store. I hope it doesn't start like that. I'm gonna
Right.
be
I just don't.
not leaving my house.
If there was a way that I could turn it on and off, I would be down. But I'm with you, Elliot. I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't want
know if
to.
I can emotionally handle that.
Yeah,
just
I don't.
people-
It gets a little much sometimes because then
I
you
would
start
imagine.
to think you actually kind of get like a little like to the point where you're just like, okay, I want to know more about this person, you know, like, and you start doing some heavy, like deep digging into like these people, and then you find out like what they've gone through or like what happened shortly before, and I mean, it can get depressing, you know. It's like
Yeah.
spirits like that. It's like a reminder that like sadness is out there, and you know, I just feel like we need to accept that they're sending us a gift and like a message, but at the same time you kind of have to also hold your ground and not get like too obsessed with it, because like
Right.
I mean, there's been times where like with spirits like that it's just it becomes an obsession in a way, you know, like all you're doing is like googling and like what's the next thing, it's somewhat
Right.
like a mystery, but at the same time you find out that people can be very cruel, you know, and like just the reminder of the cruel can take a toll on you. So yeah,
Right.
you gotta be careful, you know, like set some grounds, and then you gotta like refresh your brain, and yeah, so it's a blessing but a curse, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you got going on, Kat?
You know, it just started happening for me, or at least that I can recognize. And for me personally, it's more like it's almost like it's my own thought that's coming in, and I'm like, why did I think about that? That's weird.
That's
and then it
exactly-
started making sense. Like,
Yeah.
oh, well, maybe that wasn't me.
That's
Yeah.
honestly that's
Yeah.
what it feels like. It feels like a second thought. Sometimes it has its own tone too, and it's
Mhm.
like, did I hear that, or
Yeah.
was that in my
Oh,
head?
that's
Like, what's going on here?
See, I don't get that. I get more like a radar kind of thing. Like I get like a ping off of like a ghost. So like I can see them like an outline, like the submarine ping type of thing when there's
Yeah.
grumpy men.
Yeah,
Right.
Elliot had that experience at Hillview, and that was kind of
I
like
had it at Broadhead too.
I felt, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like that was kind of like the first time I saw you really. I always thought, like Elliot. Wow, I'm like choking. Okay, I'm good. I always thought Elliot had like a gift that he just like squished, and
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to embrace it. So like, since we've kind of been like getting out more, he's been more so embracing it, and like, yeah, at Hillview, he shocked me because like he told me this, like I was feeling it too, and he told me this, and I was just like, yeah, I'm feeling it. And then like literally, there was a girl that was about 30 feet behind us, and she couldn't have like heard Elliot.
Yeah, there's no
Elliot
way I
whispered
whispered.
in my ear like, hey, there's an angry guy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling him. And 30 feet, she gets to that same point, and she collapses to the floor, and she's like, a guy just attacked me. And like I thought it was like crazy how like that was all
Right.
And then we went up there and he was yelling at us,
Oh,
the
yeah.
spirit box and all sorts of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
definitely have oppressed my abilities because I not too long ago I found a notebook from when I was a kid and it has "I don't like the shadow man" on the stairs written in it. And then I went to
Wow.
the ghosts in my house, and I'm like, what was
Oh,
wrong?
wow.
That's how you shut it off, though. When you're a
Right.
kid,
Yeah.
He's
you
still
start to
in our
repress that, push that away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like we're like renovating his childhood home, and it's kind of cool.
Oh, wow.
Like the experiences that he had as a kid, and now like I'm having them, and he's like finding journals and stuff about like
Hey, Bill.
the Shadow Man. Hey Bill. We were just talking about Broadhead. And like, because I've seen this like 7-foot shadow figure guy in our house, and like I was like, he doesn't talk.
No.
And Elliot's like, yep, that's him. And we've heard running in the hallways. We're pretty sure
He
that
walks back and
that's
forth in
the
the
kid.
hall.
But the one
The
that's
Shadow
running.
Man does. No, the running is definitely the kid. We've seen him while we were on podcasts. He's run
Yeah.
past the doorways.
Like you'll see like
Oh, wow.
beep beep beep. Sorry, cat. I keep like.
Our other laptop doesn't have as good of a camera on it, but that
Yeah.
one, when we're at our house, they know how to talk through this microphone on there. So sometimes,
Especially the kid.
yeah, he'll like
He-
Oh,
giggle
wow.
and stuff through it.
Yeah. Actually, I was in a Zoom meeting. I'm pretty sure that Darth Sidious ghost has been following me since I was a kid, because we were using actually. Cat, grab your spirit box.
Oh,
So, Cat got a little gift from me, and
Oh, yeah.
I was actually testing out this. This is a spirit box.
Oh my gosh.
Testing
Cute.
out this little guy.
Thank you, Dana.
And it started saying like a deep voice comes through, and I'm pretty sure that's the ghost that follows me around. And I asked him, I was like, is this my ghost guy? And he just came through and was like, yes. I was like, are you the same ghost that has been following me since I was a kid? And it just said yes, and that was it. Now,
Yeah.
I was in a Zoom meeting, and the person I was talking to actually made me upset. Something growled into the microphone, and there
Oh,
was
shit.
4 witnesses for
Yeah,
that.
that was.
like,
Well, I was working on tech, and everybody stopped, and they're like, "Is Elliot like making something
wide
make a noise?"
like wide eyes, like just like, and like I'm like I think my ghost is upset with you guys,
Right? They're like, don't piss off my girl.
Right.
that was intense. I was just like, thank you. Like,
Right.
So, but yeah, they'll use the microphone sometimes. We had the little kid
That's
giggling
pretty cool.
into the microphone, like just like, and like people are like, "What was that?" I'm like, You want to know?
We had
Like,
what's her name? What is her?
Oh, Lizzy.
Lizzy.
We have a woman named Lizzy. She's came through a few times. She's from the 1930s. We have a few spirits at the house.
We have about 5.
Our house is from 1870s, so
Oh wow.
I mean, a lot. And then the canal, we literally have a canal that's like.
And Archer Avenue. It was
And
like
Archer
the only
Avenue.
street for a long time.
Archer
Oh,
Avenue,
wow.
by the way, if you guys don't know Archer, it is a very, very much haunted road. It actually goes from pretty much like it actually past the Joliet prison. Like
Yeah.
the Joliet
Wow.
prison is on
It was to connect Chicago and what's the other end of it?
Chicago and somewhere out there, Mississippi maybe.
No.
Mississippi River. Like, anyway, they used to
Oh, the
gather,
Ohio River.
Okay.
they used to gather limestone, and a lot of the buildings around Chicago was made from the limestone from this canal. The Joliet
wow.
prison was, the water tower in downtown Chicago. This place, a very haunted place called St. James Sag. Oh, yeah, it's a lot of work. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. It's
They're fine.
But Archer Avenue is like that is
Joliet to
Wow.
Chicago, yeah.
is okay. So I mean, only goes from Joliet to Chicago. For some reason, I thought it went to
I thought I went
Mississippi.
further.
But what was I
Sorry.
talking about? Archer Avenue.
Interrupting
Archer
you.
Avenue is our ghost girl, the Resurrection Mary. She is seen. She's our lady in white. You know, like she is like the hitchhiker that is famous in our area. So people, you know, seen her. People like pick her
Yeah.
up, drop her off, and then she never comes out of like the pub or whatever. So a lot of weird things happen on Archer Avenue, and we're right along it as well. So, you know, who knows? Who knows what's coming to our house?
John wanted to get a postcard from the 1900s from an inmate at Joliet Prison. I actually
That's
have
so
a
cool.
rattan wicker rocking chair that was made by
Oh wow.
prisoners at the Joliet Prison.
Pretty
Nice.
cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That thing gives off weird vibes.
I
too.
mean, we also have
How you doing, Trey?
Elliott, your grandpa, he was
So,
involved with the
my-
Joliet prison.
My grandfather was a deacon at the Joliet Prison for a while, and he helped.
Oh wow.
So this guy murdered his wife. He stabbed her a bunch of times, and then he was in the prison. My grandfather helped counsel him and get him out.
He was
and-
he was a saved man.
He was a saved man, and then not too long later,
He wasn't a saved
he
man.
wasn't a saved man, and he murdered the woman and her son that he married, and then himself with a Civil War pistol. And I have
Wow.
2 paintings by him that we used to have hanging up, but they fly off the wall, so we took them down.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, we had them in our old apartment.
They're in the
and-
garage. Everything haunted is in the garage for the most
Yes.
part.
Thank you. Like
Is
those.
that connected to your house?
Nice, Bill.
Oh my god.
That's cool. Yeah, we have some pretty accurate. There's some people that I've had have really good descriptions of Resurrection Mary, like during the day even.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, all of Archer though, like you have.
Well, there's a nuclear reactor
It's-
buried there.
There's
So
that.
the
It's
first nuclear reactor was buried.
What?
It's buried in the woods over by the graveyards that we go to investigate. So and where it's buried, they see orbs, like big orbs over lakes
Yeah.
and stuff. So I think that might have something to do with the nuclear reactor buried in the woods.
Like radiation or something?
Yeah.
Kind of a perfect storm of things over there that kind of makes it weird in a lot of different ways.
It's
Yeah.
like Elliott had an experience when he was a teenager with his friend. They were driving the car, and all of a sudden,
The radio was talking like an alien language, and we couldn't change the channel, and like it sounded like aliens were coming through the radio, and no matter what we changed the channel to, it went to that.
yeah. So
Oh, that's just
it's
NPR.
like some sort of a Stranger Things experience. Like just go to Archer Avenue. There's also what is that Oregon
Oh, okay. So there's Argonne National Laboratory over there
where there's
too.
like fish with 3 heads.
It's
like,
not too far.
Nice.
Yeah.
You ever see like The Simpsons? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the three-eyed fish.
There's
Yeah.
multiple legs and stuff in the water. There, that's a weird area.
So yeah, just come up by us and we'll give you a whole Stranger Things experience. You'll be seeing
Right.
like mutants and God knows what along Archer Avenue.
Well, you saw the
Oh yeah, I saw a skinwalker.
skinwalker there.
I am like
Oh, wow.
99% sure it was a skinwalker,
And then
unless
I
it was
saw-
like just some coyote that wants to just walk on his hind legs. Like, so I was one of my favorite cemeteries is called Fairmont Cemetery. Everybody loves Bachelor's Grove. It's like the famous one, but
Oh, time out.
Sorry. Time
Good
out.
night, Lincoln.
Night, buddy.
Yeah.
Hi, Lincoln.
Yeah.
Good night.
Hey, you're on TV.
This is this kid
All right, buddy.
Lincoln's on YouTube.
Hi, Lincoln.
You watch your phone with my dad.
Oh no, you can't have my phone. I'm working. What?
He's a handsome devil.
Oh, you are a handsome devil.
Just like your dad.
When he gets out of the bath, he has to kiss himself in the mirror. He says he has to kiss the handsome devil.
Oh my
That
goodness.
is,
What
like,
is that?
precious. That is.
All right, buddy.
All right, say goodnight.
Say goodnight to
Good
everybody.
night, Lincoln.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay.
Let's just turn this show into
Night,
like
Kate.
all the cute people.
Right.
Cat, come here, cat.
Right.
Mhm.
I'm a dog.
Things.
Yeah, no, I saw it jump up behind there.
I know.
Oh, hey.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
it's
Wait.
another cat. Yeah, don't
No,
even.
it's a doggy.
Or dog.
It's a mastiff.
Wow, my eyes
Oh,
are bad.
Cancer.
That's a giant dog.
Let me-
Yeah.
Hi, doggy.
Now we're just bringing in animals and cute things.
Right.
Happy
Yeah.
vibes. Happy vibes.
We have to pause the show every day every Thursday to say goodnight to Lincoln.
Yep.
Aww.
So
Everybody in the chat room saying goodbye or good night too.
yeah.
Night, night, little buddy.
He's a superstar.
Yes,
Right.
he is. He's a little punk, but he is.
So sorry.
Takes
You
after
saw
his
a
dad.
skinwalker.
Oh yeah, forget the skinwalker. Bring the kid back.
Right.
So, I was at this cemetery called Fairmont. Like to me, it is one of the most haunted cemeteries in. Does that cat just hiss? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm hearing things.
I think it's slid on the ground.
Okay. And I was just like in my spot where I'm normally at the cemetery, and I saw this like deranged looking coyote. And this coyote like went down. It was like crawling really weird, like, and then it went down this hill, came up, and it looked like it stood up. But it was still like moving really, really weird. So it either had like really weird rabies thing going on, or like it was not natural. I've
Yeah.
never seen
Weird.
like an animal of any sort move like that. I mean, I've seen like bears stand on their hind legs, and I know
Right.
poodles can. You know, I know there's like dogs
Right.
that can, but like the way this thing was walking was very like like robotic in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Ugh.
creepy. And I was just like, what the hell did I just see? And like Elliott came down, and I just turned to him and I was like, I think I just saw a skinwalker. Like, and I mean, this area is very woodsy too. And I don't doubt it, because the Native Americans like cursed the hell out of that land, because they literally like came in and like wiped them all out to use the canal. So I do
Yeah.
know they put a curse like on somewhere. I think it's behind this coffee house. Isn't that where the
Yeah, apparently
burial ground is?
Apparently the there's like a banquet hall that was apparently
Yeah.
cursed.
Oh yeah, they see Native Americans in the
Yeah.
like banquet hall and all that. So
What was that thing that I saw?
Wendigo.
I saw a Wendigo.
Oh,
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. That
You don't
was
have-
bad.
you don't have the picture, Goose?
I think
No, I got rid of it.
Oh.
Thank God.
It kept going. It ran up my street, and I was just like, me and my friends sat at a stop sign in the car. We turned the lights off and sat there for like a half hour. Like, what do we do about this? We were not about to get out of the car.
Right.
Yeah.
So like
A
that was
chupacabra.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, somebody mentioned a chupacabra.
Yeah.
No, I definitely saw a Wendigo. It was like
No,
a
what you
giant
saw. What you saw.
deer.
Nah.
Me? Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a chupacabra, that might have been that. Yeah, I could totally.
Yeah,
see
because
that.
they look very like dog-like.
Yes, yes, it was dog-like, but very like,
I
I
feel
don't know.
less
Yeah.
confident because I think I saw the same thing, like not far from here.
Whoa!
Yeah, it was a
Shelly
Uh-oh.
saw one too on her way home.
on its hind legs. At least
Okay.
that's what I thought I saw.
I just want to say, Bill, we did not rip apart Broadhead. We love Broadhead. I saw in the comments, Bill asked.
Oh no, we
Broadhead
were
is
just
awesome.
talking about how
It's
awesome
fun.
it is. Yeah, Elliot, like when we first started dating, like, and I was all like about this kind of stuff.
I saw a Wendigo. What do you want from me?
He didn't know. Like,
I'm not messing with that.
he was just like, I saw like this deer thing, and like it looked like he was wearing its own skin, and he was,
It was
like
huge.
inside out, and he was like
It was
8
huge.
feet. I'm like, dude, it sounds like you saw a Wendigo, and he's like, those aren't real. Like, and I'm like, dude, it sounds like you saw a Wendigo.
A
Okay,
giant deer.
it's
Right.
a lot easier if they're not real. Okay.
Okay, but like most people are like, okay, seeing is believing. Like Elliot sees it and he's
Oh,
still
come
like,
on,
no.
man.
That's what I saw. Yeah.
Come on.
It was that, and it ran up the street in front of us, and it was just like, we're not moving now. We're sitting here for a while. I think we smoked like a whole pack of cigarettes just sitting in the car. Yeah. That thing does not come back.
Like afraid to open the window and like it's just all smoke in there.
Yeah.
I like that you stayed in your car because Lord knows that thing can't rip your fucking doors off. Right.
Right.
That's a safe
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
At least,
Like-
yeah, at least you could like reverse or something.
At least we
and
could
you
get
got a
away,
better
maybe.
chance.
Maybe.
I like that Shelly's saying that she's having like deja vu with my description. That's making me feel more like
Yeah,
I saw something.
Yeah, same
she
thing.
did.
And you're like, did that actually happen?
Right?
Or was it one of those things that I made up?
No.
Did that actually
Is that a
happen?
dream?
I mean, sometimes stuff you kind of have to question yourself. You're
Yeah.
like, yeah. Honestly,
That's a skinwalker.
That's kind of what it looks like. You see how it's all like a tarantula,
Yeah.
kind of like.
Mhm.
Okay. I need to go cleanse myself.
Right?
Oh, what you got there?
Sparkling water.
Oh, and you didn't get me one?
Do you want one?
Holy water?
Right?
Sorry, we're like raiding Cat's fridge right now.
Yeah.
Oh, hellhounds.
Hellhounds
so
are
the
fun,
first
too.
time I went to Fairmont, I think I did see like a hellhound. It looked like a weird looking dog, but it was definitely on all fours, but it was like just like a big dog, and it ran into like the same forest. You gotta stay away from that forest. Like,
There's lemon or lime.
I live with a hellhound myself.
Lime.
he got lime. He gave me lemon. Getting the party started with some sparkling water.
Sparkling.
Getting wild.
So Dana's asking the question, what's the difference between a Wendigo and the skinwalker? The skinwalker, from what I've read and have seen, is more like a werewolfish type of animal, like more dog-like, where the
Yeah.
Wendigo is like partially human and almost like partially monstrous looking deer with like antlers.
It
Um,
was scary. It was very scary.
From what I remember, I think the Wendigo is like eats people
Yeah,
too.
yeah, they do.
Something like that.
They eat people.
Like,
Yeah.
they're scary. I think I would be more terrified to see a Wendigo than a skinwalker.
And yeah, the Wendigo is pretty deep into like northern area Native American lore. You see
Right.
a lot of stories, come across with what they're talking about.
I'm starting to look like one with no sleep. Bill, you're funny.
Bill's a Wendigo.
Nice, Tony. He was-
I got one of those like little things that you buy at AutoZone that keep the deer away from your car. So that's why I probably never see any of that stuff.
I have one on my car
Okay.
too. I threw it on there, and I'm like, maybe Wendigos will stay away from me.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
How you doing, Jeff?
The thing is, I feel like I could do ghosts, but cryptids, I feel like that's
Yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah, my friend Paul was playing some audio of when he was camping, and he thinks he heard a Bigfoot. I was just like, and you stayed there, and then I'm like, oh, so this is how people feel when I play like our
Right.
Monroe
Here,
house.
listen to this guy that was in this like haunted
Yeah.
house.
Right?
I was the only one in there.
This guy said he's gonna kill me.
Sweet. Like,
But yeah,
People are like, "Wait,
cryptids.
what is wrong with you?
Right?
but cryptids, it's just like you hear like those. It was like, and I was just like, but for like 30 seconds straight, and I'm like, yeah, I would be out. I'm sorry, man. Like,
Yeah, I
I'm
can't.
gone with that.
Yeah.
one.
There was
But
a
it's-
cow in the woods one time
cow.
when we were camping up on a mountain. There's a bad storm.
Demon cow.
A cow making noises. Hey, I was like, it's a bad storm. Why is this cow out here making noises? What's going on?
Demon cow.
That was enough for me.
I'm pretty sure it was a cow that got lost during a storm and it wound up on a mountainside, but Elliot was like freaking the
Weird things happen when camp. Remember the first time you took me camping?
Everybody tries to explain away Bigfoot. They try to explain the demon cow too, man.
Yeah,
They're like it's not real.
These raccoons are getting intelligent. We gotta be careful of them. They'll run on 2 feet.
And huge. They're gigantic now. I do not remember this ever happening.
Yeah, maybe I just saw like a gigantic raccoon.
A giant raccoon.
Like the size of me, a raccoon.
I think that's partially scarier than something that hides.
Oh yeah, you don't want to deal with a giant rat. I'd rather deal with anything paranormal, anything. I don't want to deal with no giant raccoon, man.
First time we went camping, I had a bag of chips in my hand. The raccoon walked up to me on 2
Literally,
feet.
like grabbed the chips under and just darted. Like it was just. Like,
You got mugged by a raccoon, dude.
Dude,
Like, you just-
robbed. I got robbed by a raccoon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see a raccoon coming. I'm throwing everything I have at it and running.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Like, what are you going to do? Fight him for him? No. He's earned those chips. Give them to him.
I was
Yeah.
a little upset because that was like our only snack. So I was like sitting by a campfire and I was like, what am I gonna eat? Like,
there's nothing you can do, man.
Right.
No.
go
What was
get
he going to do?
Those are my Doritos.
Right.
Yeah.
Go
Gotta
fight a raccoon.
Hunt the raccoon. Why are you out here just throwing rocks at raccoons? One of them has my bag of chips. I gotta get it back.
Right.
I could only imagine.
All right, guys, I gotta get off.
All right.
All right, man.
Hi, Heisenberg. It was
All
nice.
right,
to
been
Have a
nice
good night.
talking to you guys. See you around. Are you going to MatCon?
Yeah.
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 All right.
We're gonna and ISS Con if anybody's going to that.
All right.
So
Cool.
And Hillview.
I'll probably see you at MatCon then.
okay, sounds
See ya,
good. It's
Meg.
gonna
All
be
right.
a party.
Yep.
So,
Bye, Heisenberg.
Bye.
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 Night.
Night, buddy.
Bye.
Yeah.
So somebody
So
asked a
I-
question. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You finish.
I have a very healthy fear for all of the cryptids. Like, I feel like if I go into a place that's haunted, there's spirits there. I have things that I can do to protect myself. But if I'm out camping in the woods and a fucking Wendigo comes up, or so, what am I gonna do? I can't be like, oh no, I have these crystals. Watch out, you can't come over here.
Like
It's-
I always have my gun on me too when we're like backwoods camping. But
Yeah.
like even then, Sasquatch comes up. That's not gonna hurt him.
No,
no.
no.
There's nothing I can do.
That's
for
gonna feel
cryptids.
like a pellet.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
Yeah.
not. There's nothing that you can do about that.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's like deer mutant things that have like their skin turned inside out, like
There's
Yeah.
not even anything to damage on them. What are you
Right.
gonna damage?
Yeah,
What do you
that's too much for me. There's different levels of crazy, and I'm not that crazy yet. I'll be crazy and go into a building that I know is haunted, but no, I can't mess with the cryptids.
Well, you know how I feel, or how I feel.
Oh yeah.
I like researching them from afar, but I don't.
Right.
I'll track them. I'll try to find sign, but I'm not looking to actually like walk up and shake hands with one.
Right.
But,
Hey man, how's it going?
Yeah, like Skinwalker Ranch or something. I don't
Yeah.
know if I could like stay there.
Yeah.
Something that seems like a danger to me. Like ghosts are scary enough, like they can cause problems, but they're not like you said. I know how to deal with them.
Right.
But yeah.
Shelly says just yell, "Hey bear."
Yeah.
Hey bear.
I watch all those survival shows too, and that's what they actually tell you to do. Like you're walking up on a 1,000-pound grizzly, and you're going to say, "Hey bear, hey bear." I watch Alone, that series where these guys are like survivalists and they have to last as long as they possibly can.
Yeah.
This last season, like every one of them was seeing multiple grizzlies every day.
Right.
And they start yelling, "Hey bear," and they just look at him and they just keep walking up towards them.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's
not doing
like,
anything.
They're seeing multiple grizzlies because those grizzlies found a food source. Those dudes.
Right.
Yeah. Because the one guy actually shot and killed a deer, and he had a smokehouse.
Oh,
so he's like cooking the deer meat. So this grizzly starts.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like. I like Les Stroud, Survivor Man.
I do too.
Les Stroud's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
He's
fun.
I mean, I've gotten pretty close to a black bear, but that's about my height.
You got way too close to that black bear, and that black bear had babies, and that wasn't
the same black bear.
That was still scary though.
No, the other black bear. There's two black
tree?
bears. Okay, there was a mama black bear, and she had like 3 cubs. They were freaking adorable.
The other guy that
ran
them.
But I was like, I ain't getting close to that. But then we saw another bear, and he's just sitting there eating blueberries. I'm like, he ain't gonna eat me. He's got his blueberries. So I got pretty freaking close to that bear, and I probably
I've never seen a bear outside of the zoo. I don't know what y'all are doing.
Okay, so black bears are chill.
Living on the edge, man.
Grizzly bears are not chill.
Yeah. I was telling my husband, and I think it's a punishment to humans that bears are not snuggly because they just look so cute and
look like big dogs. You just
you just want to pet them like this. Such bad. That's how I'm gonna die.
You're gonna die from a grizzly bear.
Yeah, I'm gonna die from petting something that I shouldn't be. Just something.
Trust me. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
How did they die?
Yeah.
So
cute.
We were in Ireland in a castle dungeon bar. I lose her. I don't know where she goes. I asked the bartender, I'm like, hey, where'd my wife go? He's like, she's outside feeding potato chips to the fox. And
nice.
I'm like, what did you just say to me? And he's like, I left her out there with the fox. I'm like, you left my wife outside with a fox.
I didn't feed it potato chips. The guy gave it.
Yeah, I know. He was feeding them potato chips.
Okay, so no, that's not how the story went. Elliott said it all wrong. Okay, so there was a fox, and I was just
right, Nancy.
Steps like Snow White, and I started doing and then all of a sudden this fox appears, and I'm like, oh hey there, little guy. And he comes up and he just comes right next to me, and I'm like, oh. And I wound up petting the fox, but he was trying to find food, but I pet him because I was like, how often do you have a fox come up to you and But then he was looking for food. The bartender came out, and the bartender fed him chips.
So we got some questions here. What's your ultimate?
Yeah, we got a lot of questions.
I'm like all up in the.
We will talk for hours. So someone said, what's your ultimate goal? I don't know. I just want to hang out with ghosts. I'm not trying to prove anything. I just I want to figure out the best way to communicate with them, I guess. That would be my ultimate goal, is make the device that they can communicate the easiest through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I would agree too. I think our ultimate goal, I mean, mine personally is chilling with the ghosts, but
party with ghosts.
Just knowing their stories, I feel like personal experiences and stories can go with you everywhere you go until you're 90 years old, telling your grandchildren. And it's it gives them, where they haven't been forgotten. Mm-hmm. So it's just and I feel like that with people too. I think if somebody in your life has made a mark to where you're talking about them at 90 years old, I think, you probably did something good in that person's life. So that's kind of what I want to do with the ghosts. I feel like when I have a ghost experience, I'm like, they, conjured like their energy. And I just think that's like so cool. Cause like if you're leaving me with a gift of like ghost gift where I can bring it to the grave, like to me, that's just as special as someone, giving me a present when I was like 20 years old or, someone taking me on a trip at 25 years old. So, I just feel like the ghosts, I don't know. That's my goal, is to just bring their stories with me wherever I go.
That's awesome.
Bill said we got a private spot. Broadhead is amazing to party with the ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill does an
That
awesome
is a
job
fun
with
place.
like, he likes to really bring in, which I am a full on like, heck yes, bringing music into a paranormal investigation. Bill will crank up, like he's got a whole laser grid system over there, and like
It's a dance party.
It's so cool. And the gymnasium, there's balls in there. Like there's an exercise ball and there's tennis balls, and they'll move them.
So
Nice.
at Bill's place, it's a whole gym. So what I like to do is bring my hula hoop, and I like to like feel like I'm hula hooping with a bunch of ghost kids. Like,
Right.
come on, guys! Like the fun art teacher or something. Okay, we're gonna go express ourselves in the gym. Here we
Right.
go. Woo!
Right.
So that's, I don't know. It's fun. I feel like we're putting our own energy into the place. And I feel like when you bring your own energy, you actually kick up energy that's there. You know, like, I was a ghost spirit and I saw some girl like doing a hula hoop. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I want to go hang out with that girl.
Right. We talk about that all the time.
Are you dead, people? Like, yeah, I'm dead, but who cares?
Right.
Like, that's the girl I want to hang out with.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time because, first of all, you have people coming into these places night after night after night after night asking the same questions. What year is it? How did you die? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they're probably like, hell yeah, this girl's not even asking us those questions. She's just, having a good time. All right, I'm down for this. They get sick of the same shit every night.
Yes. So that's what we're trying to do, is like bring something different. Like, okay, like honestly, like we have our radio spirit boxes, but man, if you bring in this like little pumpkin,
Right.
like, hey guy, look why I got something spooky. It's Halloween time.
Right.
Like through this, like
that's why I make like the bell REM pods, because it looks like something fun. It's a cute
Right.
little like bell with eyes. It's not.
And it's a bell. It's something they would understand.
Exactly.
You bring in something that looks like a TV or a radio, they might not understand what that is.
Right.
Well, a lot of these devices got like the flashing lights and everything. It's just like, what is that? What? But if you put a cute little pumpkin in, they're gonna be like, oh, Halloween.
Right.
Like,
Right. And we were just talking to Tina about that because, like, okay, the cat balls, they're one of my favorite things. But, like, to them, it probably looks like glass that's on fire because they're, shiny plastic. They don't know what the fuck plastic is. And then,
like, lights going.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you touch it and it lights up.
What is
like,
this dark magic?
Yeah, exactly. It's not. I mean...
My thing is the little black boxes. I mean, they are good. They're good for like if you're using sensors and stuff, because they don't need to really mess with it that much depending on what sensor you're using. But if you have a little black box with blinking lights on it, I would not go near that. That looks like a bomb or a trap of some sort. Like
yeah, they don't know what it's gonna do.
The more fun you can make something. Yeah, who knows what it looks like a ghost trap.
Yeah.
Right. And then plus, like, we don't know if it hurts them. That's the other thing that we were talking about. We're all like, oh, can you touch this REM pod? It's not going to hurt you. Like, do you know that?
Right.
Like, did you die and then come back and you know for a fact that it's not going to hurt them? So I always tell people, like, just say, I don't think that it's going to hurt you. Like, I wouldn't put it down if I thought that it was going to hurt you, but...
Yeah, we always like try when we do have the weird looking devices, be like, actually show them how to use it. Like, you do state like, this isn't gonna hurt you if you just go this way or this way. I know it looks kind of weird, like, we can't talk like that. Like, it might be like foreign to you, but like, look, I'm doing it too. Like, if you just do this, and I mean, and we have REM pods and everything, but I feel like the ones that like Elliott has built and like put a little bit more like soul into them, like
Yeah.
be a little bit more like, you know, they want to play with that versus just something
Right.
Sure.
antenna that looks like a UFO. You
I'm
know?
always
Right.
Yeah.
I'm always changing my mind on like equipment too, because like I used to not like REM pods, and then we went to the Bell Mansion and they give direct responses with them.
Right.
Crazy. With
I
the
didn't
REM
like
pods
the
there.
flashlight technique either, but Broadhead, Bill gets direct responses with
Mhm.
it, and they will turn it on and off when he says. So I'm trying to build something kind of like the flashlight technique right now to
Yeah.
take it, because who
Peggy
knows?
Goodell does it with the battery operated candles too. Like
Yeah.
the ones, like the ones that are like the candlestick, not like the little votive ones, because
Oh.
those are the same thing. You turn them on by twisting in the flame light bulb. And so you can do the same thing. And she does it with those.
Oh, that's really
That's
cool.
freaking
Yeah.
brilliant.
I was actually
Yeah.
looking. I was thinking about 3D printing something that looks like a little lantern for them
Yeah.
to turn on and off, kind of the same way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because lantern would make more sense. I
Yeah.
mean, you
Right.
could get a good hunk of like, especially like 1700s, 1800 like ghosts. Like
I mean,
playing with
even like
that.
there's a good like time gap for that, like
Mhm.
because modern ghosts would understand it, but it would go back quite a ways.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Man, now I'm like thinking.
That's why I like the bell too. Because like, okay, let's say you're walking around in an antique store and there's a bell sitting on the counter. You are 100% gonna pick it up and shake it. Doesn't matter how old you are. And
Yes.
you know, it's something that like everybody wants to play with. Just it's something in our brains. Make us want to pick it up and play with it.
Like
Right.
recently, was it that? I feel like I did that recently, like where I walked into somewhere, I looked at a person, I was like, "You have a bell? Can I ring it?"
Right?
And it was just like, ding, 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 ding.
I did that at Jack's Paracon, only the bell was huge. It was like the size of a human head, and you had to like pull
No,
a thing.
that wasn't the.
And it was okay. I did not think it was going to be that loud.
Yeah, those are loud.
I rung it. It was very, very loud, and everybody just stopped what they were doing and looked over. And I'm like, "Oh, sorry, I had to."
Yeah.
Do that.
I had to. I had to. That's what I'm saying. I had to.
Yeah.
That was a good idea with the bell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Elliott did a good job, and then he put like the little eyes, so it looks kind of like a little ghosty, you know.
Yeah, I tried to
Right.
make it
Yeah.
go.
Like it's.
I mean,
cute.
a lot of so going back to like what you initially said, that like how did I learn how to do all this stuff? A lot of my skills actually come from being able to research how to do something, because you don't need to know how to do anything now. You don't need to know how to do anything other than Google stuff. If you can look things up, you can do anything at this point.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, like Elliott, like he's been helping me because I've been kind of getting more into the tech world too, like just soldering,
Yeah.
you know, like. And he's like, "Here, check this video out," and like. I mean, sometimes I need a little bit more like, okay, can you just show me what you're doing? Because I'm a very
Mhm.
visual person, but if I watch Elliott do something once, I can do it too.
Yeah.
You know, like, but
Yeah.
like with YouTube, it's just like, I mean, I play synthesizer, and I think all my synthesizer action I learned off of YouTube. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's just like it's so easy, and it's so. I feel like I'm like promoting YouTube right now. So
Isn't it?
guys,
I know, right?
Well, it's amazing. I mean, my heater, when we first moved in this house, our heater was like 20 years old. And I got about at least another 6 or 7 years out of it because of YouTube,
Mhm.
showing me how to fix things
Yeah.
and replace parts. And,
it's awesome.
Instructables is a good website if
Yes.
you're trying to build things.
oh,
'Cause
okay.
they
Yeah.
step by step how to make
With
almost
pictures. Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I actually read an article
bit, yeah.
about a single mom who literally built her entire house from the foundation to the roof just watching YouTube videos. Like
That's
she
cool.
Awesome.
Exactly. You can literally learn anything. We have this vast knowledge. Like we have unlimited information at our fingertips. And yet people choose to be assholes on the internet. I'll never understand it when you could literally be building an empire. You know, everything you need is there.
But you're too busy being a jerk
I mean,
on
I'm
Facebook.
remodeling,
Right?
remodeling our house. That
Yeah.
I'm learning everything from YouTube. I read
Exactly.
I did like I've never painted or like sand or drywall or mud anything before in my life, and like YouTube. It's a
Yep.
great place to be.
So
Okay, that's
Yeah.
No,
Seriously though, there was one year I was doing my garden, and like I didn't have, you know, a mom or grandma to teach me that kind of stuff. Like that's not how my family was, but I wanted to learn how to do it. So, you know, the entire year, that's what I did. How to plant corn, when to harvest corn, you know, how to can corn, like everything. I learned every single step of the way from watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an app for everything now too. Like I just
There's an
bought
app for
my first house over 2020 and wanted to start gardening because the people that lived here before
Right.
had a beautiful garden. And I didn't know what
Yeah.
anything was, so I downloaded an app where you just take a picture of the
Right.
plant and it tells you what
Yeah.
it is.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I like
What time to be alive?
like I have a thing with spiders. Like I'll take a picture of them and like I'll try to figure out spider. It's like Pokemon to me. Like,
Yeah.
like what spider is that? And like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, weird. When we were down in Oklahoma, like there was a freaking spider like yay big.
Nope.
Like I was like, I don't know if that thing's dead or alive, but like I'm taking a picture of it and I'm gonna try to figure out what kind of spider it is.
See, I like my zoom on my camera. I could take a picture of that from across the room and never have to get close to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like if you use the internet for the right things, it can be
Right.
Yeah.
wonderful,
Very
beautiful
useful
place.
Well, it's
useful.
great.
Yeah.
It's great for us too because you can research anything, any evidence you get.
I can find all my ghosts online. Like,
Well,
Right.
Haunted Mansion.
well, a majority of them. The others I have to pay $6.99 a month for extra.
For the newspaper websites.
Yeah. Yeah.
But okay, so here's a little a sad story for y'all, but it's interesting because so in the alleyway that I saw the guy as a kid when I was about 9 years old, I actually saw someone get shot in that same alleyway. And
Oh, wow.
I didn't know anything about like his name or anything, but I remember like kind of like roughly like what month and where it was. I had the location and I just kind of wanted to know his name. So like I started Googling and I did find his name and he was an 18-year-old kid. And like it's just like, and it was weird because we were actually running the spirit box. I was trying to actually find like my old ghost guy, but when I was reviewing the footage, he actually came through. The guy that
Wow.
was shot, he said his full name on the spirit box, and I didn't even notice until like I
Wow.
reviewed it. So
Wow.
I like just stuff like that, and it's like I don't know. To me, that was so. And that took like a huge like whoa, because I was still a kid, you know, and like
Yeah.
seeing someone in that state, like, and just like I couldn't wrap my head around it at the time.
Right.
And I, you know, just kind of going back to the same spot and just knowing who this person was, you know, just even knowing a name and like
Mhm.
it gets touchy, but like I just feel like now I have some sort of, I guess not necessarily like relief because it still happened, but a little bit more of like, hey, at least I know what your name was, you know,
Right.
like at least I know something about you. I don't know what kind of person you were. I don't know
Yeah.
like,
Right.
what you got
Right.
into, but like at least it's something for me to like, because I mean I've carried that with me like my whole life, you know, like and obviously he's still there because if I'm getting his name through like
Right.
our devices now, like I'm like you're still here, you know. So but now I
Yeah.
kind of want to go back, and that's something that I'm going to like not, you know, post anywhere because I feel like it's personal. I feel like
It's almost like a residential.
yeah. But
Right.
I would
Yeah.
love to go back, and if he's still there, know a little bit more about him, you know.
That's one of my favorite
Right.
parts is like getting to know the spirits. Like the little boy in our house. One day we asked him what his favorite food was. He said French fries. His favorite drink is a floaty. So we went and had root beer floats and French fries with him. in the garage, which is their area. I set up an
That's
area
awesome.
in the garage. They have a radio that they can change the stations on, and then TV out there too. Sometimes I'll turn that on, but like I give them their area, and then we go and talk to them. I actually have a spirit that's there that helps me build the equipment, and when I'm working on stuff, I'll be like, "Hey, is it working?" And he'll be like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Okay, cool."
That's awesome. It's like your assistant.
Yeah, I love that like Elle really, takes the time to make his tech for the spirits. Like, okay, now you have a radio that they can change. They can put whatever music they want on, like I just find that so personal. I feel like that's like one of my favorite things is personal connections. Even like personal like stories. Like Kat has told me a story of her was it your grandma that you didn't meet?
Yes.
Yeah, and like I've actually like told that to other people. I'm like, my teammate, like she saw her grandma that she never met. Like that's just so cool. Like, and that's another ghost story that I can bring with me, until I'm 90 years old. And it's just like I feel like that connects us, all. Like that's why we're doing this, right? Like we're here because we're like connecting with we should connect with each other and the spirits. And I feel like if we connect with each other, how the hell are you going to connect with ghosts?
Yeah, if you can't be nice, like living physical people, how are you going to be nice to whatever the invisible kid that you're talking to is?
Oh, thanks, Trey. I'm reading.
One of the things that actually made me like a full-on believer was at Ashmore Estates in Illinois. We were just investigating the outside, and this little girl was talking right next to me. We were the only people there, me and her, me and Nat, and a little girl's voice said, "Help me, I'm lost." Was it?
It was like a little baby doll voice that was just like, I didn't hear it at the time. Elliot,
I thought you were making a weird voice.
I had my spirit box rolling, and I'm like, hello, and then like I'm like, a couple feet away, and then Elliot's like, did you just say something? I was like, I said hello, and I had no idea what he was talking about. But whenever I have like devices going, I am always rolling. So I had my camera rolling, and I went to go review the footage, and like when I listened to it, I like looked at Elliot, and I actually started tearing up because it was a little girl that came through, precious, like the most precious voice, baby doll, just like I just want to hold this child. She came through and she said,
"Good night, Dana."
Good night, Dana. She came through and she said, "I'm lost." And it was like to me, it was just like she came up to Elliot and was just like,
Yeah, it was
like, and I was just like, oh my god.
The thing is, at that point, I was like, well, I can't sit here and deny this when there's like invisible sad children. Like, how can you connect with spirits if you can't connect with normal people? You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like you can't go in here and just scream at these ghosts or like the spirits know the intentions when people walk in a building. I feel and if you're going into this or doing this for the wrong reasons, that's just not right, because some of these are children. There's children.
Right.
Yeah, it's not nice. And
I mean,
it's a crazy hobby or profession.
We do know there's the mimickers out there that pretend to be children,
like the little old lady that tried to lure you away at different locations.
Yeah, we've had that before too. But like, and I feel like spirits, they can get
Tommy?
Like, somewhat like hello, Tommy. I don't know why I just said that in a British accent. Anyway. This is, you guys are seeing the best of my ADHD tonight. But I definitely think spirits can act like scam artists too. Like they can.
Oh yeah.
Like, come here, I'm a little child.
Oh, that little kid. That little kid at the graveyard that we were at. Which
graveyard? Which one are we talking about?
St. James.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that one spirit that was mimicking my voice at ISS too.
Oh, yeah.
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 That was weird.
Oh, wow.
Two different investigations too. And I'm gonna take her voice again.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's we do think there's like a mimicker at ISS, like, because I mean we've investigated there five times, something like that. We're actually going back and like, well, we're doing the ISS con. We'll be there. I think we're just hanging out there though. Like no booths. Sometimes I don't like having a booth because then I gotta stay at the booth. And you know
Right.
how I'm all over the place, so I'm like, I don't want to sit here. Like, but we're gonna go to ISS Con, and then we're actually doing an investigation sometime this fall at ISS. So that honestly like is one of my favorite locations. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with the place.
Yeah.
Spirits there are like, I feel like by now we know a good handful of them. The way they act, the way
Yeah.
where they're at. It's I don't know. It's just one of those places that just keeps bringing me back. And me and Kat have been actually dreaming about the hallways. I'm like, there's
Yeah. Just
Oh, wow.
slowly walking down the hallway.
yeah, like
a
just
maze.
like la, 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 la,
Wow.
back here.
It's like come back.
Come back. Come back.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. ISS, like, I feel like that's kind of where we grew as like a team too. I mean, we've been together for a year and a half now, but like, I feel like I've bonded so well with Kat. I mean, I've known her for 15 years, but it's like a little different when
Right.
it's just me and her in the hallway, at 2 a.m. And it's like, if something comes out through the window, are you gonna fight it or am I? Like, you got the head, I got the back. Like, what's going on here? So it's like, I feel like we've got to learn each other on that level. Like, if something serious happens, like, are you gonna drop kick it or am I? Like, so I don't know. I feel like we've just brought like our just bonding together.
You have to
more,
get
so.
really
Yeah.
close to people in order
You
to
do.
do this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I agree.
if you have a team where you only go for like a couple hours, it's a little different. But like
Mhm.
when you're like traveling the country and spending the night places,
Much love
Like-
to you.
we've
Have a good night, Trey.
halfway across the country for locations, and like you can't just like, I think I'm gonna go home now. It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't
Yeah.
work like that anymore. Once you've hit that point.
I
Yeah.
mean, and
Bye. Or is Bill leaving or Trey? Bye, Trey.
Trey is leaving, and then Shelly said, "When are you coming to Madison?" Oh my god! So crazy thing is, we still haven't done Madison at night. Like I
You haven't done like a full investigation.
No, I think we've been there the first time we were there, D Nice was our lovely tour guide.
Oh yeah.
And then we've gone there like just during the day, like stop by or MadCon. Like we still
Yeah.
haven't actually done like a full on investigation at Madison, which I really want to. I feel like Madison, like I love Fairfield, but like I
Yeah.
feel like Madison the first time we went there, I was just like memorized by the place,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
one of those locations that really are just like, this place is beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
just the size, I just love that it's like so big too,
Right.
Yeah.
Is like, Kat, you gotta see the hallways at Madison Seminary. Like you
Yeah,
haven't been there.
I haven't been there yet. No.
Kat
Yeah.
hasn't been at all yet. She's gone to
Guess
Fairfield
you guys gotta come.
a couple times, 4 times, 3
See,
times.
Shelly said you need to come.
Looks like we gotta go.
Absolutely.
Looks like we gotta go. Well, if there's another raffle at ISS, we'll put all of our little raffle tickets in the
Yeah.
Madison one.
Right.
What's up, George?
George. Okay, I need to stop with the accent.
Yeah, George is
Yes, Tommy. Actually, I want to come out by you.
Yeah, he said you guys got to come out to the Octagon House.
Yeah, that place looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so
We're
many
doing-
places that we want to go.
We're doing
so
some local
Right.
stuff for a little bit because gas is crazy. It's
Between
going down.
Yeah.
us, like, there's a lot that, like, I feel like all 3 of us are kind of going through right now. Just life changes,
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
mean, like, we have like this possible big opportunity that I can't really talk about that we won't know until like the end of September.
Yeah.
So everything's kind of
Everything's like on
then.
hold. Like literally everything is on hold. And then like Elliott is like thinking about doing some coding, you know, like thinking about going back to school for coding, and because he needs to get with computers. Like right now, he just
and do low voltage.
Voltage. It's not his calling.
Yeah.
Computers is his calling, and I'm gonna push it. So
coding is fun.
Yeah. We're just switching up our lives a little bit, but like we're just kind of taking like kind of that low
and
personal.
There's a
break.
lot of places near us
that we
have never investigated, and some of them are like
right.
Like
we're kind of going back to like my origin, which is like we're actually doing a couple like local museums. And
cool.
I gotta love museums. Like just walking in and smelling like old books.
I love local museums. Like little small museums. When we travel, we try to like stop. We try to stop at local places.
Hold on, kid, let me see.
We're getting dark in here.
We're getting spooky.
Losing the light. We try to stop at little local museums because.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
We're so pale, we just disappeared.
Okay, let me turn that back down.
That's good.
That's how I had it.
That's fine.
Yeah, you might want to turn.
We're vampires. We're fine.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that works. Cat's a little like ghostly, but that's okay.
We've switched.
Here, let me turn this off then. We don't need
little museums sometimes have the coolest stories.
Oh no, we need that.
Right.
Okay, I'm sorry, Goose. You had a question.
Good night, Kathleen.
Here, and you were about to ask us a question, and then we went off on some crazy tangent. Was there a question that we missed?
Hello, Kathy. Oh, I see. I said it right that time.
I don't know.
There were a couple questions that we missed, but
too far past.
Yeah.
I know there was somebody that asked, "Where's your where's a bucket list place you want to go to?"
Yeah, there was that one. Yeah.
I want to go to Chernobyl.
Ellie wants to do Chernobyl, get radiation.
Hey, if Archer Avenue has the nuclear reactor and a bunch of maybe
it's probably already in our blood system right now.
It's fine.
Yeah.
He's been building immunity to do that.
Right. That's totally how that works, right? Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
Mine, honestly, like I don't have a set location, but I've always wanted to do like an Asian temple. Like just it could be anywhere in Asia. It could be like Japan, Thailand, just in the middle of the mountains, like something that I have to like challenge myself. Like I have to walk every step to get there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have to ask to come in and then like come in and then, you know, there's incense burning. I just kind of would love to do something that's like just ancient like that, you know, and just not your ordinary. I don't even know where I can find something like that. I do know there's a castle that's haunted in Japan. I mean, that something along those lines, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those old looking temples, and I don't know, like samurai spirits. I think that would just be so cool. Or old monks.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about that before. Like, sorry, Kat. America is such a baby compared to the rest of the world. Like the things that we think are old are like, you know, the 17 or 1800s, and like everywhere else in the world is like, oh, cute, you know. we're such a baby when it comes to that.
When we went to Ireland, like, yeah, they're just like, I'm like, yeah, we got stuff from like 200 years old, and they're just like, oh, well, here's 800 BC.
When we went to the
like,
Roman baths, we went and checked out the Roman baths, and
that was cool. People that
what about Kat? Does she have a bucket
where's
list?
I'm gonna start talking again.
I don't know that I have like a particular place either. My answer always changes, but I've actually never been to Salem, and that's somewhere that I really
Okay.
Salem.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 10th great grandmother was one of the witches too, so that was
Nice.
kind of a motivation.
Nice.
See, their family house is still there and everything. So that's
What's that? Dog got hiccups or something? Oh.
It's my little tiny cat dog that you heard.
No,
We're like,
no.
oh,
kind of a cool question Adam had. What about a famous person that has passed away? Who would you talk to?
I already know.
I would like to talk to Stephen Hawking because he said he would do the time traveler party, and I feel like us talking to ghosts is kind of like time traveling. So it'd be interesting what he would have to say about it.
So in an artistic aspect and musician aspect, David Bowie. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna be like, man, like, is it everything? Is it everything that you like hope for and more? Like, what, I don't know. His last album just was I was listening to that album just bawling. Like, I'm like, dude, like, you hit me on a whole other level. So yeah, he was kind of the guy when, as a kid growing up, that like just stood out than any other actor, singer. I just loved his style. I just loved everything about him. So David Bowie.
Awesome.
Man, I just had to think of something on the fly. I've never been asked for that question before, but I think sticking with that aspect, I would probably say maybe like Andy Warhol. Just
that
because
would be
he's
cool. That would be
super.
Yeah.
I was just listening to a podcast about a museum with his stuff in it, and he was so like eclectic, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
That they have to keep everything in his like boxes how he had them when you're like taking stuff out, and you had to remember like where it was. And he was kind of a hoarder too, so it's like you got to keep everything clean or organized in a disorganized like mind that he was working.
Right.
with.
Yeah.
I just want to dig into that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's really cool.
What about you, D?
Shit, I don't know. People don't ask me questions. I don't know. It's a hard one because there's so many different people that I would want to talk to for different reasons. Like Tesla,
It is hard to
obviously.
choose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tesla would be cool.
Yeah.
Tesla would be really cool.
I want to.
Yeah.
I want to have a non-scientific conversation with Albert Einstein.
That'd be cool.
Just like, because that guy, I mean, he was one of the most brilliant physicists of all times, but he had such an open mind about everything outside of the world of science.
And he was.
I just like to sit, have a cup of coffee with the dude, and just like talk, just like bounce ideas off each other.
He would be cool. He would be cool. I feel like he would just like, it'd be like talking to like some wise old grandfather. Like,
right.
With a really good sense of humor, because he sounded like he was an amazing, just cool guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So someone asked me recently, would I investigate the Island of Dolls? I think that would be a cool location.
That would be freaky.
That'd be freaky.
Yeah.
Goose would not go.
See,
No.
okay, the one location that like I don't know if I could handle is the Clown Motel.
Oh, we gotta go there.
See, that wouldn't bother me either. I could do that.
Clowns,
I know, isn't that so weird? I have like the weirdest things that I'm afraid of, but like the normal things that people are afraid of, I'm like, oh, that's not so bad.
Well, I think I got on this topic the last time we talked to you guys. Is like I used to see a clown ghost, and then like it's great that you reached out to me, but like,
right, but also no.
Don't do that anymore.
But where I would see this ghost, I wound up doing my little Google research, and it was the same train track that the Hagenbeck Circus train crash that killed like 86 clowns and performers.
Oh shit!
It was I always get the year 1918, I believe. Let me double check that, because like with Google, I like knowing my facts before I start spitting them. But I
mean, but that's different. If you are if I was haunted by a ghost clown, then I probably wouldn't want to stay at the Clown Motel.
Right.
Yes, and it's not all clowns. Like, I don't care about like haunted house clowns. It's the vintage clowns, like the white face, like
Yeah.
clowns, like because it was 1918. I would see this clown and he would be standing by the railroad tracks, like just off to the side just a little bit, and he looked so out of place. And I would see him when I was like 2 or 3, and I would be going to like my grandma's house, and I would just see this, like, I only saw him a couple times, but I'd just see like this guy going,
Bill said he can't wait till you come to see the clowns.
No, Bill.
Bobo.
No. He's got a clown named Bobo at his place.
Oh.
He's a good guy.
Bobo is awesome.
Funny.
But yeah, I just vintage clowns, they kind of freak me out. I think because of that. And then like I remember saying like last time we were on your show, it's like the clown was trying to make me smile and everything. But
Yeah.
I don't know if he did a very good job. Like,
Right.
but I started researching more about that train crash, and I did get to learn about different performers, you know, that were involved with the Hagenbeck Wallace. Wow, it's a long name. It's Hagenbeck Wallace circus train crash. And I did get to learn, you know, about these people's lives and like the people that perished and like the people that kept going after it. So I feel
Did you figure out who it was?
No, I did. I think it was just one of the randoms that
We did
were.
visit the graves.
We did visit the graves. There was a ghost, or not ghost, a clown that looked very similar to, and I think his name was Jojo the clown, but he looked very similar, but it wasn't him because he actually like survived and he kept going. But I guarantee you it was probably like one of his buddies, because like the way that his picture looked, like, you know, it had the big frilly thing and just the paint, you know, it wasn't like an It clown or anything like that. It was just like an old circus vintage clown.
Or maybe Jojo copied his best friend's look after his best friend passed away, and it actually does look exactly the same.
Yeah, that could
The
be
weird
it
thing
too.
is, when I was younger, I used to go on tours of ghost locations with Richard Crow, who is a big tour guide for Chicago area.
Mhm.
And I used to go to that cemetery a lot.
That's so
You
weird.
would be
I
by
never
the
went to that
crash
cemetery.
site. I would be by the cemetery.
Yeah, I didn't go to that cemetery until I went with him, and it was like one of those things where I had to go because I'm just like, I have this weird connection with the clown. And, like, and I'm like, I just feel like I need to go to like pay my respects, you know, because I'm sure he was just thinking like he was doing his job, and like he saw a kid and was like, "Hey there, little kid," and I'm just like, I was even like still like, I want to say in like my big girl car seat at the time, and I was just like. I was like looking around to like my family members, like, anyone else see a clown? Like, am I seeing? Like,
is this supposed to happen when you go over railroad tracks?
Right.
At the gravesite, there are 2 statues of elephants, and they say that when you're there, you can hear the elephants that are supposedly buried there making noise. There's no elephants buried there, and you're right by Brookfield Zoo, which is right down the street from the gravesites. But, it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I find that, but once again, it's like ghost experience. Get to learn about stories.
Mm-hmm.
Get to learn about history. You know, and I just find it like fascinating that happened. So, I mean, it was like 100 years prior from when I was born, but I'm like, that happened like so close to like where some of my family members like lived, and now nobody even remembers it. You know, like it doesn't exist anymore.
I feel like we get to learn a lot of things that we normally wouldn't learn. We go places that we wouldn't go, and we get to meet people like Bill.
Yeah,
like we've made amazing, like you guys.
Yeah,
we've made amazing
stumbled
friends.
upon Madison Center.
Right? I mean,
So
I love it. And I talk about it all the time. And it's the paranormal is such a weird thing that everybody can be part of. And you meet these people that you would never, ever, ever meet in
Yeah.
your regular everyday life. And it's so awesome because I seriously have made some of my very best friends just from doing investigations or going to new locations or whatever. It's, I love it.
We are from Chicagoland. Well, me and Elle are from the Joliet area, and then Kat is a little bit more north than where we're from. So.
And we're from Ohio.
Yeah.
Ohio is for lovers. I don't know if you guys remember that song.
Yeah. She didn't know how to put her claws away.
Oh no.
Oh, but she's
Pokey
so cute.
cat. No. I'll put you from there.
Yeah, so
got stuck on my clothes.
Bringing a cat home with us tonight. That cat's adorable.
He'll bring her back soon.
I don't know. She's cute. Yeah, that's honestly. I feel like with these like the ghost experiences, I feel like I just learn more. You know, like I feel like they kind of help me, even though sometimes they can be really freaky. But I learned so much just from experiencing and like just Googling like what happened. You know, like, why am I seeing a clown on a railroad track? You know, why am I seeing this and that, or the lady at my best friend's wedding? You know, like what? Why am I seeing these things? And then I get to learn about that building. I get to learn about even the area, like you know, our area, like just Archer Avenue and the canal, and a lot of people died in the quarry that's down the block from our house. You know, it's just you get to learn, and there's ley lines. Like I just feel like
we had
so much.
Chris Williams at FCI Con was like, she said, I love the paranormal because it tricks kids into realizing that history is cool.
I actually
and I'm like, that's amazing.
Like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
like,
that was such an awesome line because it's so true. It's so, I could go and have a tour at the seminary, and it's these, you know, high school age boys, and they just got off of, you know, playing a football game, and they're, you know, all hyped up, whatever. And they get in there and they are listening to every word that I say. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's cool. You know, they're actually learning history and liking it. You know, it's not like school where they shove these dates down your throat and you just have to learn to just so you could pass the test, whatever. It's they actually care about the history.
Exactly. I feel like a lot of the history that I know has been from the paranormal. It hasn't been like through history books. It's been really, like me going and stepping foot in like the same place. Like honestly, I think the most I learned in school when we took our I think it was 8th grade trip to Washington D.C. and I got to see like Jamestown, and I got to see, like where Lincoln was shot, and I'm just like, oh, I remember this Fort Theater. Oh, I remember this Jamestown. You know, like and Williamsburg, Virginia. Blackbeard was held there. And I remembered it because, like, I actually went into the same cell that Blackbeard was held, and it was just like,
it's so much different when you go somewhere, because, like, Gettysburg, all you want, but like, being in Gettysburg is so humbling, and like, you just see the graves, and it puts you in the place. That's one thing I feel like, especially with the paranormal, is you have to connect with that time period in order to connect with the spirits. So it makes you connect with history, not just learn about history.
Right. And I always tell people when they're investigating at the seminary, like when you go into a place, you need to understand like how people lived when they were alive so that you can better investigate while you're there. Because like, okay, cool. If your goal is to get a show on Discovery Plus and all you care about is YouTube views or whatever, then go ahead, walk into a room, pump your chest and be an asshole. But if your goal is to genuinely communicate with whoever's in that building, then you need to show a little compassion and actually be somebody that they want to talk to.
Exactly.
Yes.
The thing is, you're not going to get good evidence if you go in and you're just rude to the ghosts.
Right.
No, right. Yeah.
You're rude to either the owner or the spirits. You're not going to get good evidence.
And I feel like spirits know too when you're just going there to film them. I really think they're just like, yep, here we go again. Like they know who's in it for like the likes and the follows, and then I feel like they know who's in it because they actually want to like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll show myself on camera because you actually want to talk to me. All right, we'll make it deal.
Some of the coolest experiences been when listen, when I've told the spirits, I'm like, listen, I'll turn the camera off. Let's just have interaction.
Yeah.
Me and Paul PMK, we've had some really cool stuff happen because he turned his camera off and okay, we're not filming you. Let's just that's it.
Yeah. At Madison all the time, you'll hear no cameras, no recording, no cameras, whatever. And I tell people all the time, like, listen, if you feel like it's quiet, maybe turn off your 47 cameras and just be there for the personal experience and watch how different of an experience it is. They're not stupid. I swear to God, they know when you're recording, and I'm pretty sure they're under strict instructions not to be allowed to be recorded, because as soon as people turn off their cameras and stop caring about like getting the shot and whatever, like that's when the personal experiences kick up.
So we learned that we actually do a lot of our recording with cell phones because it seems like they're less sketchy about cell phones versus like having a camcorder.
Right. Yeah.
The cell phone's a little bit more discreet. They seem a little bit more chill about that. Or we have the little bitty action cams, but the cell phones most of our evidence is on cell phones.
Yeah, because like I haven't really had anything happen like on my night vision cameras. No. I think the full spectrums and like we
usually use them for debunking.
Spirits are not stupid. Like, and they know when they're getting filmed. They know like what's going on, especially like the places that people keep going to, like they're like, oh, okay, yeah, like, okay, you guys are talking about it, camera. And I mean, some of the places, if we're talking about, the last 100 years, they know what a camera is. That was getting, that was being worked on. They were perfecting it, in the 1910s, 1920s. Like, they know what's up. They seen Charlie Chapman.
Bill's right. He said we get the best from casual conversations. We were just sitting there talking. And the ball rolled across the gym.
You see an
sometimes
apparition
when you're just
cat.
having like a conversation amongst yourselves, they'll
Right.
jump and want to put their 2 cents in.
Well, like one of our best disembodied voices / EVPs that I've ever caught was this laugh that we caught at ISS.
Mm-hmm.
We were literally talking about going like, just like, okay, come on guys, we're going to get going now. And our walkie goes off. And then all of a sudden you hear like this, like someone like turned our walkie on and then like was laughing about it. And we were just sitting in a circle, like talking about how we're going to go in the other room. It's like, they're not circus performers. Like now maybe if I went to go ask the clown to do something, he would probably do a little circus act for me. But
that's so true.
I also do not advise going to the train wreck location.
Don't go to that location.
It is on the edge of Gary, Indiana.
It's not.
Oh
safe.
Yeah.
Don't go there. We've been there. We know the area, so it's a little different.
I'm like la 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 la.
Don't go there. Although you go to places that I won't go.
Wait, where's that place that you go?
Oh, House of Wills.
The House of Wills.
Yeah. Elliott's like, have you heard of this House of Wills?
No.
Well, I listen to every episode of their show, and and it sounds really good.
It does.
There's cool places by us though in Chicago that I will not go to.
Right.
Well, Gary,
it's just not worth it.
like really pretty old
There's the
cathedral,
church, yeah.
you know, but like it's
Yeah.
getting right down. It's in a shady neighborhood. It's just like, I don't know, you know, like.
And the House of Wills, like the whole thing behind it pisses me off because in the neighborhood that it's in, if those people understood the history of the building, that building would still be in perfect shape, in pristine order. But, you know, it took somebody else to come in and buy it, and he's trying to fix it, but, you know, he's not getting any support from the community.
I feel like schools need to teach the importance of historic buildings more.
Right.
Right.
They
Yeah.
need to stress that we need to preserve things or they're gone.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Honestly, like that's like, I mean, that's why I love like, you know, the UK and Ireland, because like everything is still there, and it's just like, I don't understand why our structures can't last more than 100 years, but
man,
Right.
okay, they are like another level of building over there.
yeah,
Like,
They
because
are,
everything's like
but-
pristine, and
it's
Yeah.
also,
sad.
you're also looking at the buildings of like ridiculously rich people in a country that owned most of the world. So you
Right.
gotta remember that. They
Yeah.
took over most of the world, so they had a lot of money.
Right.
I suppose. I don't know. I just wish there was more historic buildings like
Yeah.
around us, you know, like
Yeah.
it's not old enough.
We need some castles. Can we just,
Yeah.
you know, Ireland and England have a lot of them.
You know
They
what
should just-
castles?
Yeah.
Ohio. Like what
Yeah.
the hell, Ohio? Like
Okay, but
Castles.
Loveland Castle is not actually an ancient castle. The guy started
Right.
it in the 1950s and he finished it in the 1980s, but it looks like an ancient castle.
totally
And
looking,
they
though.
got
Yeah.
the frog.
They
Yeah.
got the Loveland frog.
The
like-
frog man.
Yeah.
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 He's good for 4th of July. He's got the sparkler.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
He's ready. Yeah. Well, there's like that. Yeah, I guess like your castles are modern castles, but they're castles, okay?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
you have something. I mean, we did go up to Castle Loma in
Casa
Canada.
Loma is cool.
If you're like anywhere near the Canadian border or anywhere like
Yeah.
possibly like drivable distance to Toronto, I suggest going to Castle
I think you
Loma.
need a passport now.
Do
Or a
you?
card. You need a card. Yeah.
Well, get your
Yeah.
card and go to Toronto.
Yep.
Like if you like castles but you can't afford Europe and like Castle Loma, it would be the place to go. It's honestly, it's so beautiful. Feels like you're in a castle. It's haunted. It is a castle. Like it's just
There's a cool like spy nest up in the
yeah,
top
because
of it.
they used to
Nice.
Oh, really?
Code breaking.
yeah for
Oh,
World War-
cool.
Oh, cool.
yeah, so like they have like
Nice.
a whole hour dedicated to code breaking and all that. They have
That's
and then
cool.
there's also Quebec City that has their castle.
Yeah, I want to go there.
So if you guys can make it up to Canada, there's a couple awesome
Right?
castles in Canada.
There's Wilson
Yeah.
Castle.
Oh yeah,
There's that-
that's on the bucket list
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
place is absolutely beautiful.
And that's cool because you
Yeah.
get to sleep there too.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm down. I need to do
You guys could dress like princesses and go live in a castle for a weekend.
honestly, like forget like the whole paranormal thing. I'm just gonna
Right.
go like
Right.
Elliot.
Right.
Elliot.
No,
And then me and Kat will be like,
I'm the king.
so Kat, like, how are you enjoying your tea?
You probably would get more reaction that way too.
Right.
Go to St. Charles, Illinois, Morton Salt King Castle. Wait,
Oh, that's right by me.
is there a castle by you?
What?
You never
I
told me?
didn't-
You're
I didn't know
are
it
you
was
hiding
there.
a castle?
You're hiding a castle?
I didn't know. I've only lived here for 2 years.
I didn't know there was a castle in St. Charles.
Yeah, now I want to get
We gotta go there. We
Listen,
gotta
PM,
kidnap Bill and
um,
just have him take us all over to the cool places.
Right.
Right.
When we were in Ireland, we went to Hellfire Club,
That was cool.
and that
but
was
my
cool.
face was like exploding because like my allergies were like not.
Oh
happening.
yeah.
was not cool. But I
my
did
face
see.
got all like puffy, and I'm like,
Oh
you
no!
saw ghosts.
We
Like,
saw full body apparitions.
yeah, we saw like
Wow.
something go turn into like
We saw something go
the
up the
doorway.
stairs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Little like short black figure, like, and then I was like waiting for like this thing to come out. I'm like who's the person that just went in that room? And Elliott's just like, I don't know, I saw him too, but he never came out. So we're like looking for a person, and there was no person there. I was like,
And it was cool because we had people outside too that were watching
like
if someone
scouting,
came
like
in and out.
like making sure no one was coming in, and yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
we had Hellfire on lockdown.
We got to see mummies in crypts.
What?
Oh, nice.
I got to smell the mummies.
Oh, mummy dust.
Mm.
Nice smelling the mummy dust.
It's crazy.
You get to inhale the mummies.
Right?
Sometimes you really have to just become one with the dead people.
Right.
And then you're like, I don't know why my allergies were so bad. Maybe because you were sniffing mummies.
Mummy dust. You
Right.
have tried mummy dust. It's like your psychic abilities will be
Gives
on
you
full
horrible
other-
allergies.
Noted.
I want to go back. Like, why am I here?
Right.
To move.
Why am I here, guys? Let's just
Right.
go.
Right.
Let's just-
I think if we
Well-
got the paranormal community together, we could take
Dude,
over
I'm
Ireland.
serious.
We
Like,
could just buy a castle.
The people are very
Yeah.
nice over there. They don't like saying no. If we just went over there and said, "This is our castle now," I think they
D-Nice
would
is
give it
on
to us.
something. Like, we're gonna all
Yeah.
just purchase a castle.
Right. We'll just throw down for a castle. We'll each have our own wing. Fine.
Castles are actually a lot of the castles are actually very cheap because the taxes are so high on them, and
Oh wow.
repairing them is like ungodly
That's
expensive.
okay. We'll bring
Yeah.
Bill because Bill is
Oh, yeah.
Bill
literally
is amazing. Yeah.
He
He's-
knows what to do.
he's ripping his whole thing like apart, like broadhead, did plastering all by himself and like painting all by himself, putting up these beams and everything by himself. Like, dude, you're crazy. Like,
Bill, you're hired. Castle
Bill,
maintenance.
Bill, you're the
You're
castle
the
maintenance.
castle maintenance man. Yeah. I mean, we've gone to Broadhead like 3 times now within the
Yeah.
last like 3 months. We've been heading up by him because he's only like 2 hours from us, so it's been nice. And
And it's a party with the laser light
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And
That sounds fun.
we like every time we've gone, Bill's just got something else built or like redone. I'm like how did you do? Like, I can't even.
This place is different than last time.
I can't even get
Right.
like my foyer done. Like I need trim, you know, like my upstairs window, it doesn't have any trim, and it's been like that for like a year now.
Eventually.
Like,
I'll just put curtains over it. It's fine.
just pretend like it's
You don't
not
need
there.
trim.
Right.
It's curtains. It covers it up.
It's my plant window, so it's like the only window that I actually like let sunlight in. So it's like, come on, man, it's kind of nice. Then honestly, our like house is like blackout,
Yeah, we have
Right.
blackout curtains everywhere.
black it all out. Be as dark as we can possibly be in our house.
Right.
It helps me
So,
sleep.
Tony.
Oh,
Thanks, Tony.
So,
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is that time. We got to end the show.
it always goes by
Thank
so
you guys.
I know.
I know it goes. Yeah.
You do a couple.
You guys
more
are
hours.
awesome to talk to because it's just
Right?
like, it just flows. It's awesome.
I
But
could easily
wanna-
do a couple
wanna-
more hours.
Yeah. I want to thank you guys so much for coming back on. It's awesome. Awesome to meet Kat finally.
Yeah.
Um,
nice to meet you guys.
I met her briefly at OSR, but yeah, so cool to have you on.
Thank you for having us back.
She's a ghost
Absolutely.
goddess. She's
Mm.
she's a bodybuilder.
Right?
Yes,
the whole
I
deal.
saw that. Yeah.
Cat's a inspiration to me. I'm just like, girl. The
That's
stuff that she
awesome.
does, I don't know how she does it. Like,
It's
Right.
it's very time consuming.
Well, I wish you guys the best of luck with everything that's coming up. I know you said you guys are going through a lot of changes. You got something that could be pretty big. Good luck with all of it. Like, seriously, from the bottom
Keep
of
us
my
posted.
heart. Yeah, keep us posted.
And you know what? If it doesn't work out, it's totally cool. Wasn't meant to be.
Right.
That's the best way to look at it. It really is.
If you're a sane person, it's the only way to look at it, really. Like, what can you do about it? I tell my kids all the time, tears and tantrums don't build time machines. Doesn't matter how much you whine and cry about it and get angry, it's not going to change anything. So if it didn't happen, it wasn't meant to be.
Exactly. As long as I have these two,
right.
I'll be.
And sometimes when things don't work out, it's just because something better is coming. So just
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Fortune cookie with that.
Right.
All right, crypto heads. Everybody who was on, we had a lot of new people on tonight, so that was awesome. Great show. Thank you, everybody who was watching and joining the chat. Thank you so much. Bill Walter, thank you so much for being on. Did a lot of chatting up, and I appreciate that. But we will see you guys next Thursday night from 8 to 10 right here on the Cryptic Paranormal Show. We love you guys. What do we always say?
Please don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
Please don't be an asshole.
I added the please because people aren't listening. So I'm going to say please now.
You're like begging people at this point.
Please don't be an asshole.
All right, crypto heads, we love you. We'll see you next time. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.